This is Drama Hub Recap. So, in this drama, the female lead name is Tia. And here is Tia telling about herself, that she is obsessed with nature and its beauty. She likes to capture the memories and beauty of nature. She used to do this since childhood. She always wants to be a music composer. Here we also know that Tia Bungalow is near the beach, that her dad left for her. Suddenly, she receives a call from her bestie, telling her that she received the ticket of Jang Ma's concert, but I left the pass in your house, and I don't have time to go for a concert. Tian becomes very happy upon hearing this. Jang Moos was her favorite idol. After this scene, we see the male lead Jing. Actually, he is also a superstar. He is a very successful, handsome singer. An idol, he has a huge fan following of crazy fans who always tries to interfere with his private space. Because of this, he always want to live peacefully, so he disguises himself to live a normal life. And to avoid the media, he wore a labor costume. He slipped out from the site, while his assistant and his impersonation passes in front of the media as Jing. After this Jing visit for his photo shoot, the same site where our female lead Tian had also arrived, thinking like today is a concert of her favorite idol here. It was true though, but not today. The concert will be tomorrow that she doesn't know. By mistake, she gets involved in the photo shoot. Because of this, guards pushed her out of there. Here we see the model girl named Shasha. She has a huge crush on Jing and always tries to find a chance to hit on him, but Jing ignores her. After this, we see Jing, who is talking about an important matter which he doesn't want to expose. He thought that he is alone in this area, without knowing Tia is also in the same spot recording insects' voices with her recorder. When Jing's eyes fell over her, he thought she was a paparazzi or some kind of crazy fan, but it was not important. The important thing was that she recorded him talking. Jing snatched her recorder, which was actually a precious recorder for Tia, in which she has lots of data. The next day, she visits where Jing has a fan meetup. At her turn, she directly asked him to hand over her recorder, unlike other girls who came here for his sign and photo, but ended up being kicked out again. Later, when she was waiting at the bus stop, thinking why people are crazy over Jing, he is a jerk. Meanwhile, Jing shooting his live show in which he disguised himself as cab driver and picked people to get the reaction. Will they recognize him? He had successfully given rides to people and they recognized him easily. But one of his passengers, there was Tia too. Jing tries to talk with her, but neither does she see him, nor does she hear his voice and recognizes it. And he himself begins to ask, "Do you know singer Jing?" Hearing Jing's name, she burst out in anger and said, "I don't know how he became a singer, and why are people crazy over him, even though he sings like an old speaker?" Upon hearing her words, he became mad and revealed that he is an idol Jing. But she gets mad and threw water over his face and keep asking him to hand over her recorder. Because of these, their cab got hit nearby and got minor accident. In next scene, we see them sitting together when Jing telling her, "That do you know, because of you I got scratch on my face, and how precious is my face," but Tia only care about her recorder. So tired of hearing this, he finally decided to return her and get rid of a crazy girl like her. He hands over her recorder, but Tia noticed it was now damaged and how she will get her data back from this. Looking at his face, she got angry again. She hit his feet and left, where Jing thinks she actually went crazy. Later in the evening, when Tia is traveling in a bus going somewhere, there was a passenger in this bus who collapsed on the road while getting off the bus. Tia checked him and started calling for someone called the doctor, but luckily one of those passengers, there was Dr. Yun, immediately saves his life. He tells that if there was any delay in treatment, maybe the person has died of suffocation here now. But Tia is very impressed by Doctor's skills and kindness. Now after that, Tia is back in her home and starts doing her routine without knowing that there's also someone in her house, and she was not alone. The person was no one but Jing. He bought this bungalow to live a peaceful life. He also didn't know about it yet. When Jing tries to take a nap, he listens to noises from upstairs. He tries to ignore it, but when it becomes more, he thinks there must be something wrong with this house, or maybe haunted. He tries to figure it out. He goes towards the kitchen where he sees a figure of someone, but when he checks, they both get shocked and start pointing at each other. "Why are you here? This is my house." Tia shows him proof of her and her father's pictures and house, but Jing told her he already bought this house. Upon hearing this, Tia got mad and kicked him out of her house and locked the door. Outside, Jing tried to shout and opened the door, but it was useless. Later the rain started pouring, and for shelter he saw a doghouse, enough for him to fit. The next morning, when Tia woke up and saw him sleeping in the doghouse, she became satisfied. She tries to capture this precious moment of this, but when she touched him, he was having a high fever. To have mercy over him, she dragged him inside the house and started treating him. Finally, Jing's assistants also came there. First, she got shocked seeing a random girl with Jing and got mad. What if someone saw that? Rumors must be spread all over like fire. She also brought the document, in which it was clearly returned that now this bungalow belongs to Jing. Tia knew who did that, her own best friend who she trusted most. About her condition, that she got betrayed by her own friend Jing, also felt bad for her. Here Tia recall how this happened. One night when she was drinking with her bestie Chan and sharing problems, Chan told her that she was in lots of stress and debt because of her own brother. Upon listening to her bestie problems, Tia signed the paper of her house in Chan's name because she was drunk that time. And she must be the one who sold her house without telling Tia. Tia becomes angry and later visits Chan, where she beat her because she had never expected that Chan would do that. Tia tells her she will definitely get her house back. After this, Tia goes back to her house and tells Jing that she wants to get back her belongings, so Jing agreed. Tia notices how freely Jing using her expensive and favorite things like his own. She tells him, "I want my house back. I can pay you more of the amount you pay to buy this house." But Jing rejects and starts pushing her out of the house, but later Jing finds her again inside the house. Next scene, they both sat together, where Tia told her she has nowhere to go, but Jing said he doesn't care. So she got an idea and started blackmailing him, showing him his photo and video of sleeping in the doghouse. Jing got mad and tried to snatch her phone to delete photos, but was unaware how close they became. We saw a man outside in a trash box taking pictures of them being close to each other. The next day, this photo had gone everywhere in the morning, and the place where Tia used to work was a cafe. Even there, people recognize her as the same girl in the photo as Jing, but she can't understand the strange looks of them. Later, she understands it only when she receives a call from Chan, where Chan sent Tia and superstar Jing close photos and asked her what she was doing. "You are viral all over the internet. People saying that you guys are in living relationships." Upon hearing this, Tia immediately reaches to Jing and tells him everything. The misunderstanding. Suddenly, Jing manager comes from upstairs. She sees only Jing there because Jing hides her in her cabinet. Jing manager came with a solution to the disaster and said that our model Sha, you announce in public that you guys are in a relationship. People will soon forget this old news, but suddenly Tia came out of cabinet breathing heavily because of suffocation inside the cabinet. Jing manager gets shocked, and now she starts thinking, why is this girl always with him? Is really something between them going? She takes him to the side, and she starts asking, does he really dating her? Jing tells why he'd date monkey like her. So his manager started explaining to him how important it was for them to stop this thing before it ruined your image. In the next scene, we see Jing's father. We got to know he is actually a successful surgeon. Apparently, both father and son are different from each other. His father wants to make him a doctor like he is, but Jing chose his dream to become a singer and superstar. Because of this, both father and son live away and always fight each other. Later, we got to know that finally Tia managed to get her house back because of blackmailing Jing. She saw the invitation of the party on the table for Jing. She got to know in this party Jun Moo's also coming, her favorite singer and idol. Eager to meet him, she requested Jing to take her with him, but Jing clearly rejected that wild animals like her are not allowed. She tries to explain to him that she made her own song, which she wants to show Jun Moo's, and she wants to be a composer, but Jing rejects her. But her name is Tia. Apparently stepping back, we see her in party day outside the banquet hall. She tries to enter, but gets kicked out by security for not having an invitation. Meanwhile, we see the Jing parents are also invited to the party, and there's also the Dr. Yin is a Jing father student whom he appreciates him like his own son. Dr. Yin is knowing the same guy on the bus who helped that man with Tia. Meanwhile, Tia was thinking how she will get inside the party. When Dr. Yin on the way of going inside a party, he sees Tia there and he recognizes her. He helped her get entry, taking her inside as his partner. Well, inside, we sees Jing with his parents. Upon seeing them, we knew they don't get along with each other, but his dad wants him to get married to a girl named Meng. She is his fine daughter, but Jing don't like his dad's decision. He tell him coldly they also had their another son. Sorry, your beloved student, Dr. Yin, who you appreciate more. Why don't you fix his marriage with this girl? They both look good. Saying this, he left from there. Meanwhile, we see Tia, who goes to her favorite idol. Here we see Jing with Shasha in front of the media, where his manager reveals that Shasha is Jing GF, but Jing don't like this thing. He always hates Shasha, and he doesn't like the idea of his company forcing him to get along with a girl whom he doesn't like. He thinks about Tia, who is far better than Shasha. Despite her crazy behavior, she is good-hearted. She took care of him when he was sick. We don't know what comes to his mind suddenly. He comes and grabbed Tia hand tightly. He declared in front of media and everyone that Tia is my finance and soon to be my wife. She's the girl you already seen in viral photos with me. And after saying that, he kissed her in front of everyone. Meanwhile, Tia is so shocked that she doesn't get time to react. The next day, to take revenge from him, she used a Jing toothbrush to clean his dog teeth. Later, when Jing woke up and came down, Tia came to him and clearly said that she would never be his finance or nor wife. Take your words back from the media and everyone. Jing says, are you crazy? We can't do anything now. Now you have to be my wife, and what do you think, that you are innocent? You know, because of you I'm stuck in this situation. If you didn't crying over just a recorder, and not do we come so close. And our picture went viral now. You have to be my contractual wife for 1 year. Tia laugh and say, why do I help you? So Jing says him back, I will return you your bungalow. On the other hand, Jing's manager was feeling worried that now how will she handle the media in such a situation? But Jing arrives and says that there's no need to care about me and Tia, that I'm going to get married with her, and it's my final decision. Meanwhile, Tia went to meet her friends and share the same thing. But they say it's not a bad idea if you get your house back in return. Later, Jing manager calls Tia to meet. She tells Tia, you have to pretend to be Jing's wife, and when this topic loses interest to people in media, I will find a way to get you both divorced. You'll get this house, but it has a biggest condition. Make sure never try to develop feelings over Jing. You won't do anything, nor will you cross any of your lines. In which Tia agrees, because she thinks she will never fall over monkey like Jing. Tia recalled the moments of her childhood with her dad in this house. This house holds lots of Tia memories. And to get this house back, she can do this contract. After this, Tia goes to meet Jing and tells him of her some conditions, and he gives her his terms. Most importantly, they will pretend in front of the world that they were real husband and wife. He also warns Tia not to tell anyone that this marriage is contractual or she will face punishment. But we know that she already spit it out in front of her friends. Later, we found that to announce their marriage, they were going to appear in front of the media, where Jing was waiting for her to come. Finally, she comes ready so beautifully that once Jing forget how annoyed she was, he kept staring at her. Seeing her was a little nervous and scared. He gives her his hand, which she takes, so now she is feeling a little more confident. Now both are presented in front of the media and pretending to be romantic. Meanwhile, Jing family was seeing same show on TV, where Tia caught eye of Jing grandmother. She finds Tia beautiful and perfect. Here in the interview, the media start questioning about their personal life, where Tia tries her best to tease Jing. She tells the media when he gets angry, his nostril gets puffed up and his chin gets raised. But he is cute though. Upon hearing his insult, Jing also starts telling 2 to 3 words about Tia, that she looks good only in makeup, and if I wash her face right now, she will turn back to a stray cat. People find their conflicts adorable and genuine couples. But Jing manager got secondhand embarrassment that what the hell they were doing that was not in the script. After this, finally both of them got their marriage register done. Now the next event was their wedding ceremony, where all the responsibility in Jing manager's shoulder. She prepared everything and selected a beautiful gown for Tia. Meanwhile, Tia was summoned in Jing family house, where Jing grandmother was taking the interview of Tia and asking very tough questions. Finally, Jing was also arrived to save Tia from his grandmother questions. Everything was fine until Jing's father arrived, and they both started arguing again. And because of this, Jing took Tia back with him on the way home. They were also arguing, so Tia said she don't need his help, she can go home by herself. At her attitude, he let her go in the middle of the way and drove his car away. Later, when Jing sees Tia purse that she must forget, and how will she come back home? She doesn't even have a phone and money. Because of this, he drove back where he left her, but he found her nowhere. Meanwhile, when Tia was on the road alone, luckily Dr. Jun's car stopped in front of her and he gave her a ride. Meanwhile, Jing returns home, but he finds Tia hasn't returned, yet he was getting very tensed, so he couldn't bear it. He goes to find her again. Meanwhile, Tia was in a very bad mood, and she reached her friend's house where she drank a lot. Next morning, their finally wedding day arrived. Everything was arranged and all guests, media, relatives arrived, and the one who didn't came yet was Tia. No one knows where she was. Upon seeing this, Jing manager got very worried, but for backup, she already arranged few excuses of Tia not came, but suddenly Tia arrived there in time wearing the same gown Jing manager select. She was really looking so stunning and caught everyone's eyes, mostly the Jing. After that, their ceremony got started. They both exchanged rings and kissed. While kissing, Jing says, "I thought you ran away." He tries to threaten her, "Never do something like this again, or you will see consequences." After that, both of them went on a honeymoon trip, but just for public show up. But actually, this was not a real honeymoon trip. But they both had a photo shoot, and here they also get a lot of advertisements together in which they were shown as a happy couple had to pretend, but in reality, they were annoyed pretending. Because they hate each other, they were forced to share bed, but Jing captured all the bed for himself. "And if you want to sleep, you can sleep beside myself. I swear I don't touch you, but maybe if you want." He was actually reasoning her. Seeing his expressions, the poor girl picked up a pillow and went into the balcony, trying to arrange herself on chair. Meanwhile, the Jing inside enjoys it a lot. Tia was very angry when he saw him happy and enjoying, but she can't do anything. Later, she tried to sleep in tent, but it doesn't work because there was lots of mosquitoes. When Jing opened his eyes, he found her beside him. He tried to wake her and asked why she was here. Tia tried to explain that "I was bitten by the mosquitoes army." But Jing didn't get her excuse and tried to kick her out of bed. He also tried to let her get the smell of his socks. But when removing socks didn't work, he removed his pants and said, "I only get sleep without pants and underwear." Upon hearing this, poor Tia run away, calling him pervert. The next day, they shoot for a jewelry ad in which they wore lots of expensive jewelers, and sadly that ring slipped from Tia's hand on a grass, which she noticed later. She tried to find it because it was very expensive. And if she earns the whole year, still not enough to pay for that ring, she tries to search everywhere because Jing manager has already said that don't make any mistake. When Jing sees her tense up and desperately finding a ring, he tries to stop her, but she doesn't. At night, Jing was waiting for her to come, but she didn't return, so he fell asleep while thinking, "She's crazy, why would I care about her?" The next morning, Jing still didn't find her beside him, and when he looked outside, Tia is still busy looking for that ring. To stop her, he lied to her that the ring was not important, it was fake. Tia looked towards him and got mad. Why didn't he tell her before? Later, they went for their next shoot in which Jing was riding a horse. Suddenly, the horse became out of control, but luckily Tia managed it and calmed the horse. Jing was very impressed by her skills, so she shared that she loves horse from childhood, and "I know how to control them better as a monkey like you." Later, when they were sitting together, Tia tells him that "My dad taught me everything. I learned horse riding with him in childhood." Now they both spend lots of time together, even sometimes they start fighting like cats and dogs. To have eye on them, Jing manager has left a guy to look after this. There was no romantic feeling between them. The next day, when Tia came into the same spot where she lost a ring, now she found it there. Jing was saying, "So now return this ring," but Tia rejected and wants to keep this ring for herself. She tells it's fake, so it doesn't matter if I kept it. Seeing her happy, he made her wear the same ring. Yes, he lied to her that it was fake. Because of this, he makes all the payment for the ring to the company. After that, their honeymoon trip ended and they went to Tia Beach House, where she was playing her piano, but Jing tells her "You played well, never play it again," and himself started playing, and mocked her about how to use the piano. Because of this, Tia became angry, and once more they started fighting again. After their fight, in a brighten Tia mood, he asked her, "How about we eat dinner outside today?" Tia don't want to go, but if he was paying for expensive food, she agreed. Now the next day, Tian had a meeting as a music composer. She wanted to give an interview, but they didn't like her taste in music. They agreed to work with her because she was Jing's wife. Upon hearing this, Tia became mad and started leaving before saying, "I don't want anyone to accept me because I am Jing's wife. I came here to show my talent." After this, Tia goes to the location where Jing tells her to come for dinner. She called Jing to ask where he was. "I am waiting here," but he was with his manager. At that time, his manager eardrops everything, and she knew that they were both going to have dinner today. To not let them close, she thinks the idea that she would keep him very busy intentionally to stop him going for dinner with his wife. She tells Jing that it's almost 7 years. "We are working together." And to celebrate this, she starts drinking with him, and they both get drunk when Tia tries to call him again and again. Jing's manager intentionally cuts her calls. It's almost too late now. The manager passed first, so Jing safely sent her home. Poor Tia was there till 12 o'clock. She kept waiting for him. Now, almost all the people left, and it was time to close the restaurant, so she was forced to get out. When Tia reached home, Jing had already arrived. "She is very angry that you did not answer my calls. Why didn't you pick it up?" Jing says, "Why are you asking me like my wife? What do you think you're my real wife? Do not forget that you're being made. We are under contract, and about why I didn't answer your call because I had some important work to do and my phone was on silent." Tian also gets very angry after seeing this. Her mood gets off. Next day, Tian is an antique, goes to the music shop, and there, coincidentally, she also met Dr. Yin. They both start talking. It is revealed from conversations that their musical interests are exactly the same, and they both like the same recorder, but sadly, there was only one recorder left, which was already booked by Dr. Yin. Seeing Tia's disappointed face, he tells her you can keep it as a gift. Tia, upon seeing this, became happy, and in return, she decided to give him a lunch treat. Later, we see them in a restaurant for lunch, where Jing has also come there with his friend. When he saw Tia with Dr. Yin, he became quite jealous and curious. He sat with them. He even held her hand and kissed her again and again. He was actually saying, "Honey, honey," to show indirectly Dr. Yin that Tia is his wife. Jing was always jealous of Dr. Yin because since childhood, his dad had only appreciated Dr. Yin, but not Jing. Seeing them talking with each other friendly, Jing wondered when they became so close friends and how they know each other very well. He became so jealous, and when once Dr. Yin excused himself for the washroom, Jing immediately starts telling a lie that his grandma is feeling unwell, so we need to go back to our family home right now. They called us. Saying this, he took her away from there. Actually, Jing had lied because he couldn't bear seeing her anymore with Dr. Yin. Well, he asked her inside the car, when did she meet Dr. Yin? How did they become friends? Tia replies, "Oh, that was accidental. We were on the same bus, and from there we became friends." He makes fun of her. So Tia says, "Don't forget we'd also meet in a cab. Now I am your wife." Upon hearing this, Jing became silent. Tia said, "Let's go quickly to meet your grandma." Suddenly, he made a fake call and pretended he was talking with his family and that now grandma was completely fine and they don't need to come. But Tia doesn't believe him. She forcibly takes him to his family house. There, Tia finds out that grandma had no such problem and Jing lied to her. Tia looks towards Jing angrily, and Jin became scared of her. After a few days, we see when Jing was doing his work suddenly, a food delivery girl visit in his agency, but Jing immediately recognized her at first sight. He starts following her and take her nearby, where no one can hear them. He asked her, "What the fuck is she doing? What if someone see you? What they will think that superstar Jing wife is delivering food." But she said, "This is my job. I need to pay my expenses on my own. I am not rich like you sitting in a fancy office and earning millions without doing anything. You never get to know about ordinary people life." Her words feels like a kick in the guts. Now he want to know what life she is talking about. Later, he visit where Tia works. Here he sees she works in a coffee shop and also handling some children. Tia says if you want to experience ordinary life, go and spend time with those children. Jing don't like this idea because he finds children always annoying. But after a few minutes, he became their friend and they both enjoyed it lots. When accidentally, in one moment, they came so close to each other and start blushing. Later, one of those children, a fatty one, asks Jean, "Uncle, do you like a sister too? Is she your golf?" Jing says, "GF, no way, she is my wife." Upon hearing this, that fatty start crying. Because he can't believe that she is married. He always thought she used to like him. Because she always plays with him, and if she doesn't like me, why she hit on me since then? Jing starts laughing at his questions. We see that Jing and Tia coffee shop photos went viral again. When Jing manager sees that, she became angry over her guy. She scolds him. "That's what the hell he is doing. I told you to keep an eye on them." Next day, we see Dr. Yin had invited to, and she goes with him. So it turns out that there are a lot of horses and their species. It's some kind of horses museum. We already knew that how much Tia loved horses. She finds this place amazing. She clicked some pictures and posted them on her story. When Jing sees her story, he became very curious and jealous. He replies to her story, "Where are you, huh? And whom with you gone?" But Tia says, "Mind your business," and stopped answering his messages, which makes Jing mad. Meanwhile, we see Tia and Dr. Yun together, where he shares, "I used to come this place since childhood." And he tells her a story about his childhood friend. She was cute, beautiful, and we always meet here together. But one day she stopped coming there. I wonder how grown she became now. Next day at home, we see Jing tries very hard to know where she had gone yesterday and with whom. But Tia doesn't hear him because she was so busy composing her music. She doesn't give him any answer. But here Jean is so jealous that he starts distributing her and starts playing the drums and sometimes disturbing noise, so that she can't write anything and answer to his questions. Hearing him making noises, she can't concentrate on her work, which made her very mad, and they both start fighting. Where Jing says, "You're my wife." Even though just contractual, but still, what if someone sees you with any guy? "At least let me know where you're going." Tia replies, "Fine." Here too she lie again to him that my friend Chan need help today, so doesn't expect me to come home early, but Jing finds this fishy. He goes to her friend's place where he comes to know that today is Tia's birthday, and because of this she lied to him. Upon hearing this, Jing wants to give her birthday surprise. He starts preparing everything and even a script and bouquet. After this, Jing calls her to come at a place he wants to meet him. But Tia says she can't, she is having some important work. Here we see her with Dr. Yun again, where he is going to introduce her to a music producer. Now she goes there with Yun. Actually, the same music producer is also a wedding dress designer too. Later, when the old men listen to the songs, he finds it flop, but still he can see potential in her, and he's ready to work with her. Tia becomes so happy upon hearing this. Meanwhile, Jing again goes to her friend Chan and asks her where she has gone. So she replies, maybe an amusement park. She always likes to visit there. So in next scene, we see him going there, where he tries to find her, but his fan every time caught him. Even if tries to disguise as wearing weird costumes. But when he didn't able to find her there, he became tired and returned to home again. After a few hours, Tia also returns. Jing became mad over her. Tia knows the situation already because she has seen his viral photos of today, where he was wearing weird costumes in amusement park. She laughs over his condition and makes fun of him, but then she says sorry to him. Later, Jing bring her in a place where he booked all places for her. Here we see them doing ice skating, where Jing is expert in this, but Tia was struggling to even stand. So Jing helps her and teach her. Here we see them enjoying lots. At one moment, Tia was going to fall, but Jing holds her, and later he wishes her happy birthday. Tia feels shocked and special that he really did remember my birthday. It was the best day for Tia. Meanwhile, we see someone is calling again and again to Jing, but his phone is away. We got knew that that person has known one, but Jing manager. She was very drunk and needs Jing help. But thinking about that he must be with his new wife, and she becomes very angry. Here we saw another idol, named Lin. Lin was very jealous of Jing and his success. He felt that behind the Jing's success, there is his manager's involvement, and without her, Jing is nothing. If this manager supports me, then I can overthrow Jing. The next day, we got to know that Tia and Jing came to Grandma's village, where Grandma is teaching Tia how to be a perfect wife. Upon seeing Tia condition, Jing finds it very satisfying. Well, Grandma teaches her a lot of things. She trains her in gardening, planting, and lots of things. Along with it, she also starts taking her cooking tests. Here, she sends her to the traditional kitchen, where Tia feels angry that Jing is making fun of her instead of helping. Suddenly, their grandma returns, and Tia gets the idea to take revenge on him. She tells Grandma that Jing wants to make food by his own, and he was fighting with me over this. After listening her, Grandma says, "Okay, then you come outside with me." After this, Grandma shows her lots of things and spend a lot of time in nature together, while poor Jean inside was making fish soup. After a while, when Tia returns, she saw that Jing had put raw fish in soup. Later, Grandma tastes all the food, and she finds Tia's soup very tasty. But when she tastes soup made by Jing, suddenly something stuck in her throat. Due to this, Grandma got hospitalized in an emergency. Later, we see that everything is fine, but there is still time for Grandma's discharge. Here, Tia was so worried about Grandma. She always think Jing was lucky, because she was always jealous of him that he had a family, but still he didn't along with them. Here, Tia spends lots of time with Grandma and makes her happy. Suddenly, Jing's father also comes from above to help, but he sees the first time Grandma this happy with someone. We knew that Dr. Yun was also in this same hospital, and he met Tia at a moment when a patient attacked him and the staff, and made Dr. Yun's hand injured. Later, we see Dr. Yun having stitches while seeing him in pain. Tia makes him listen to music on earphones so that he doesn't feel much pain. After seeing her doing this, suddenly a flash of childhood memories came into his mind. This is the same thing his childhood friend used to do, whom he still misses. Dr. Yun tried to explain to her, "Are you the same girl?" But suddenly Jing also came there and snatched Tia's hand away from him and warned him that Tia was married to me, so stay away from her. Saying this, he takes her out. The next day, Tia brings food for Dr. Yun and goes to his office. Upon seeing her, he says that your husband is right yesterday. You don't need to do this for me. In reply, Tia says it doesn't matter I am his wife or not, but you are also my friend. So he finds her answer genuine. He accepts her lunch. While eating again, he notices why I feel like she's the same girl in my childhood. In the next scene, we see Tia and Jing together, where Jing is teaching her how to ride a bicycle because she doesn't know. When Jing's manager arrived and saw them like this together, she asked him, "Are you guys forgotten that you are contractually married?" Now she takes him aside intentionally. She hugs him to show Tia. When Tia sees that she gets distracted and falls off the cycle, and she gets an injury on her head. Seeing her, Jing immediately carries her and takes her to the hospital. It all seemed like a minor thing, but the injury on her head may be serious. Jing started shouting at doctors to do something fast. After doing all the tests on Tia, she was sent to a room, but still she was still unconscious and couldn't regain consciousness. Here, Jean starts worrying about her, and we see there's a lot of media outside the hospital to get news. When Jing was taking care of Tia, Jing's manager told her men to capture these images of them. Jean was getting angry after hearing all this. He wants no publicity at this time when Tia is suffering. Later, Tia regains consciousness after a while, and everyone becomes happy. Now the doctor is checking her, revealed that she is having some temporary memory loss, and now she has amnesia and she can easily recognize her old friends and members, but not the new people who she has met recently like Jing and Dr. Yun, and there are no memories of them in her mind. She starts asking them, "Who are you all?" Everyone becomes worried, but the doctor said that this is all for a short time. She will recover quickly. Meanwhile, Tia was staring at Jing and wondering why this monkey sitting in front of her. And who was that handsome doctor? She was talking about Dr. Yun. Jing became very mad hearing her words. While joking, he tells her, "I am your brother." So she kept calling him brother over and over. Suddenly, Jing's father also came and told Jing to not disturb her and let her rest. Later, Grandma and Jing's mother also come and start showing her the movie of her wedding with Jing. She seems to be surprised by this and wondering why I am marrying to my brother. Listening to her, both Grandma and mother become very concerned that is she having some serious problem. Once when Tia was sitting with Jing, she kept staring at him. Suddenly, she started calling him honey honey instead of brother. The poor guy gets choked seeing her new side. Tia promises him that she will be a good wife to you and behave well. After hearing all this, he can't believe his eyes. Well, he spent lots of time with her, but he didn't let her know that their marriage was contractual. Meanwhile, we see Jing's manager. She looks very sad and drunk. Whenever she used to think about Jean and Tia's marriage, she feels jealousy, that now they must be spending a lot of time together. We got know that the Jing manager has started developing feelings for Jing, and now she likes Jing, and can't bear the thought of them being together. In the next scene, we see Jing and Tia watching a movie together. Then suddenly Jing's father also came to take the test of Tia. Seeing him, Jing hide inside blanket. And when Jing father questions where is that idiot gone, Tia replies he has returned to home back. Jing father calls Jing, but the phone starts ringing from inside the blanket. His father got to know that his son was right here and being naughty and romantic, so he left silently, giving them space. After that, Jing came out and Tia started making fun of him. The next morning, when Grandma and Jing's mother came to check on Tia, then they found that Jing and Tia had slept together last night, even in the hospital. They chuckle and tell Jing to let your wife recover first. Jing became confused. What do they mean? Well, finally the time has arrived when Tia had to be discharged from the hospital, but before she came to her house, Jing starts hiding everything related to contact marriage. He doesn't want to let her know that their marriage is contractual. Tia comes to Jing and questions why we live in separate rooms. What kind of husband and wife are we? Jing tries to explain her, and he tries weird things to let her believe that they are real husband and wife. When Jing's manager comes to know about this, she becomes very mad at Jing. That's why he is hiding the truth from her. But Jing doesn't want her to get stressed when she is still recovering. But Jing manager doesn't like Jing point. At night, Tia wants to sleep with Jing like a couple, but this situation becomes awkward for Jing. He tries hard to maintain distance, but in one movement, she comes close to him. Seeing this, Jing gets scared for a second. He asks her, "What are you doing?" To which Tia replies that, "I'm feeling hot, and I just want to grab remote of AC." But because of Tia, he gets hurt on his feet. Seeing this, Tia becomes worried, but Jing tells her it's not your fault. Seeing him in pain, Tia instantly puts medicine on his feet, but the smell is too strong. So Jing got an idea. He tells her, "I can sleep outside, don't worry." Meanwhile, we see Jing's manager in her home, where she is still drinking, thinking that they must be sleeping like real husband and wife. And it makes her blood boil in jealousy. Later, when Jing goes to work, Jing's manager visits his home, where she tells the all truth to Tia that Jing is not your real husband. You guys are just contractually married. After telling her the truth, Jing's manager feels relaxed, that now they will not cross their line, and Tia will remember her limits. Later, we see Tia was kept calling Jing to come home. When Jing returns and sees her sad, he asks her what happened. "Do you want me to make food for you? Are you hungry?" But she silently passes him the same document Jing's manager shows her. She tells Jing that she knows everything. And with this, the part 1 ended. Please like and subscribe for part 2.